Hi everyone, it's Lindsay and I'm back today with another video and using perfect pearls again. Only this time I'm going to be using them with some ink to color in my stamping. So the first thing I want to do is make a frame for my card. And I'm using these Tonic Studios. It's a die set by them and it's got regular rectangles and it also has some scalloped in there. And I'm inlaying a scalloped into a rectangle just to make a nice little frame. So I taped that down with some washi tape, ran it through my Big Shot, and now you can see whenever I pull this out that I've got this nice little frame from craft paper that's going to go around my card. And I'll also be using that part that is the inside that cut out too, and I'll show you what I did with that a little bit later on in the video. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm using this very thin double-sided adhesive, and I am just putting down 3 strips of this all the way across a dark red little card panel that I have here. Now I cut this so it measures slightly larger than the inside of that frame. I don't have exact measurements, but I just wanted to be able to have that frame go around this card panel and not have any of the red peek through, and also not have any space from the red to the actual frame. So I put down that adhesive. I'm going to burnish it down with my bone folder. And instead of trimming this off, I'm just going to wrap it around just so it makes a nice clean edge. Sometimes whenever I cut things, they don't cut just exactly right. So this is my way of being a little controlling, I guess you could say. So I went ahead and peeled off the backing paper from that adhesive, and now I'm just going to burnish down some of this rose gold deco foil. And this you can use with your laminator as well, but you can also use it with your adhesive. All you need to do is have some sticky stuff down, and then you can put your foil right on top of that and burnish it on top of there until you just peel it away, and it will leave a nice shiny finish behind. I'm using my bone folder here. You can use a credit card, whatever you have on hand. Your finger, it'll take a little bit of work, but it will work too. So I'm just going to burnish this down, and then once I know that it's on there, I can peel this up, and I've got a nice shiny strip of foil on my card ready to go. Now I'll do that on the other 2 pieces of adhesive as well. So again, I'm just going to peel off that backing paper, and because I burnished it down, it comes off very easily. And then I can just put this down. Now here you can see that I got it a little wrong, and some of my foils stuck in places whenever I pulled it up. That's okay, because you can go right back in if you miss any spots and just fill those in with your foil. I went ahead and finished off that last piece of adhesive on the bottom there, and now I'm going to start stamping. I'm going to be using Versamark ink, and I'm going to be using Perfect Pearls on top of that. You can also use the Perfect Medium that actually comes with the Perfect Pearls. It will work for embossing as well. So if you do get a Perfect Pearls kit and you have that Perfect Medium, you can sub that out for your Versamark too. I went ahead and used my embossing bag just to cut down on how much of this is going to stick, because once you put Perfect Pearls on your cardstock, it sticks everywhere until you wipe it off. So this is just going to help reduce on that. So I am using this little ornament stamp. This is from the Merry and Bright stamp set from Two Paper Divas, and I used the light that was in the stamp set last week, I believe. And so this week I wanted to use that same stamp set and use the ornament in it. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to stamp this all the way across these foiled adhesive strips that I have on there, and that's going to serve as my little, I guess you could say, what my ornaments would hang on, and then I've got my ornaments right down below it. So I will just fill this up and continue to stamp these. I'm not being overly perfect, and I'm not worrying too much about placement here. I just want to get these on the paper and make sure my ink is still wet so I have time to do this next part. And I am using Perfect Bronze color of Perfect Pearls, and that's because it matches my foil so well. So if you wanted to use gold Perfect Pearls and gold foil, that would be beautiful as well on craft paper. I decided to go with kind of a monotone, that's not the right word. monochromatic, that's the word, monochromatic feel on this card. So I am just dipping my brush that came with the Perfect Pearls into this powder and picking up a little bit of it. And then I'm just going right on top of those stamped ornaments and just kind of brushing it on there. It's going to stick really well pretty much to everything at this point, but really to those ornaments that had the Versamark ink. So once I have that brushed on there, I can go ahead and tap off some of the extra here, but you can see it is everywhere on my card. I take a clean brush over to my trash can, dust it all off, and then a Swiffer cloth will take off the rest of that, as well as a dry baby wipe too. Not a wet one, but a dry one. And then if you want to set this, you can give it a quick spritz of water too if you want to. I didn't do that, but that is what sets your Perfect Pearls. So I have an A2 white top folding card base off to the left hand side, and I colored that with Vintage Photo Distress ink around all the edges. I much rather prefer to color my card bases with ink rather than use a colored card base if at all possible, just because then I save on attaching inside so I have somewhere to write. Now I went ahead and put that frame on with glossy accents. I popped up this panel with some fun foam and double-sided adhesive and adhered that right onto the card base. So I told you before that I was going to use the inside of that frame that I cut out. And all I did was use a circle die to cut off a corner of that. And that's going to hold my sentiment. I'm using the Yes to Sprinkles sentiment stamp set also from Two Paper Divas. And I'm using the sentiment A Little Sparkle, A Lot of Shine. I thought that was really fitting for this card. I stamped it down right onto that quarter circle with Versamark ink. And I'm using more of that Bronze Perfect Pearls right on top of that to color in the sentiment. Then I'll just use some fun foam and double-sided adhesive and inlay that right back into where it fits, and it fits perfectly. And that finishes off the card for today. It's a very shiny, unique Christmas card that anyone would love to get. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, I will leave you with just a few pictures. For more information and the supply list, you can head to my blog, craftingwhilecaffeinated.wordpress.com. The link is in the description box below. Thank you guys for watching today, and happy crafting!